Oh man. All right. Going live here. Let me see here if I got everything um, ready to go. Let me see. Is my audio working? I think my audio is working. Let me see what else I got here. Do I have my camera? I think I'm a little too bright here. I'm going to turn this down. My f-stop. So, hold on real quick. Let me check my bit rate, my bandwidth, all of that good stuff. Let me shut my phone down. Let me see here. All right. So let me see here. Do I have everything going on? Do I have my YouTube going on? My YouTube is there. I have all my other stuff. All right. So, Regiment Music, grace and peace. Great to see you. I don't want to be too long today. So I didn't really run the intro. So I'm going to be talking about, as the thumbnail shows you, and actually let me just throw the thumbnail up here. Let me see here if I can add an image real quick. Let's put subject. Man, I love doing my little YouTube thing. Grace and peace, Regmont, to you. Thank you for tuning in. This won't be too long, so let me see here if I got it on here. Let me see here. Yep, there we go. And I'm going to put it over here and make my little layout. I'm 5 times 5. Okay. Well, I don't know what that means. I'm not as smart as you, Mr. Regmont Music. But there you go. Let me add this in here real quick. Let me copy. Oops. Oh wait. Let me copy this. Actually, let me get off of that. Let me delete that. Yep, I want to remove that. Mr. Dear Woke, how are you doing, sir? Let me add an image, and let me call this subject. I should have this stuff set up, but I'm working on it. You guys will be all right. Let me see here. What image do I want to add? Let's add this one. Click OK. Drop this in here like that. And actually, let me go to this scene right here. I had this scene set up for this, but 5x5 means all systems good. Okay, good. So I am going to be talking about how do you market your YouTube channel as a believer. Now, I know this is probably what I would call not the normal discussion, but I think it warrants a conversation because we are believers, and by being believers, we have a certain standard that we must adhere to, and I believe that we should talk about it. Now, if you're not a believer and you do come to watch this, I still think some of the information is going to be applicable for you, because it allows you to hopefully get a different perspective. And, obviously there are a whole bunch of different ways for people to market their channels. And there's a ton of ways that people can, communicate to people what they do. So I definitely do not want to freeze out a certain demographic or an audience, but I do want to have a conversation about how to market your channel. And hopefully this will be some things that you can do. Oops, my intro is on. Why is my intro on? Forgive me, that intro was playing and I didn't turn it off. So here's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about how to market your channel as a believer. And the reason we're talking about this is because there's so many different ways to market a YouTube channel, a video channel, that I think we need to have a short discussion about it. And hopefully this discussion will allow you to revamp, kind of review some things in your own lives and review some things in your own content that hopefully will bring you to the place of accountability. Let's call it that. All right. when we're talking about marketing a YouTube channel, we're talking about how to share it, where to share it at, what different types of techniques you can use to share it. You're also talking about what different types of tactics you can use to possibly show people what you do, how you do it. Also, you can also show people, what you may have a product or something, not necessarily a product, but you may have a service or something that you offer, right? A lot of YouTube channels, at least for the most part, are dealing with subjects. Some of them are dealing with debate issues. Some of them are dealing with real life issues that have to deal with, things that happen in society. And so I think it's key for us to just have a small conversation about, is there a way that I can market my YouTube channel that allows me to still maintain my integrity and also still maintain what I do on a daily basis, weekly basis, however you do it, right? So there are, in my mind, essentially 4 questions you need to ask yourself, right? These 4 questions are this: why do I do it? What am I doing? Not just, the why, but the what. Who's my audience? And also, how am I going to get this accomplished? I think those are the 4 areas that you should speak on or think about before you fire up your camera and do your YouTube thing. Now, I've watched a ton of marketing techniques from places like YouTube, TubeBuddy, from Think Media, Alpha Gaming. There's just a whole bunch of people that talk about how to do your channel, right? And there's a whole bunch of different ways that you can market your channel. So answering the first question, as a believer, why are you doing this? Why are you firing up your camera? What is the end goal of you actually doing the YouTube, embarking on what would be a YouTube career, or just a YouTube hobby? Let's not even call it a hobby, because everyone may not get to the place to where they're collecting income from YouTube, but you certainly want to not put that as, not pass that off as something that may be something that you may be targeting for. You may be definitely trying to get some income from this, right? So you have to ask yourself the why. Second question is ask, what are you doing? Why you're doing it, to me, is different from what you're doing, in the sense of, are you providing content for news element? Are you going to do a specific type of content as far as commentary? Are you going to teach Bible study online? Like, what is your purpose in doing this, right? So your why and your what's are going to be a little bit different. The third question is, who is my audience? Bottom line, Dad, tardy to the party, but I'm glad you're here. Let's get it started. The question is, who are you? Who's your audience? Why sometimes when we do things and we don't have a target audience in mind is a mystery to me, because YouTube is a wide open platform. And I know a lot of times we're all trying to attract just solely believers, right? And even some who are non-believers that would come into our sphere and give us what we would provide, like some type of Christian content for them. So the who is very important. If you don't know what your niche audience is, then you may have the possibility that you may not be providing the right content for the right niche market, right? And then how are you going to reach this niche market? Now, I think if you answer those 4 questions, that will tell you, in my mind, as far as from my experience, exactly how to market your channel, okay? So the practical things are why, what, who, and how, and they're not in any particular order, but this is something that you need to write down. Your why is direly important, and actually all of these areas of what you're doing is very vital to getting results, okay? Now, if you are looking at let's just take it from a secular standpoint, right? There's a bunch of different ways that you can market your channel. There are the way you do your announcements on your Facebook or your social media. They could be your thumbnails, how you market your thumbnails, right? Using YouTube Shorts, right? Also, there can be different ways that you share information: text message, emails, right? Website. Those are all different ways. If it doesn't matter what product you have, you can actually market that way. what is your goal when you're marketing your YouTube channel? Are you trying to give people information? Are you trying to get them engaged? Are you trying to create a discussion? These are all of these things that I'm telling you are not going to be something that I came up with. There's not going to be something new, but I'm going to try to tackle it from the perspective of a believer. Now, the one thing that I will say is that for the most part, most people are after four things. And the four things that we are after are likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. We want somebody to like our comment. We want somebody to share our comment. We want somebody to comment on our material. And we would like, if you can support the ministry or support what we do, we want you to share, right? And so those are the four areas that we generally want to comment on. And that's generally what we want. So when you're addressing these four areas, right, that's the point of having a YouTube channel. You want these four things going on. You want the likes, you want the shares, you want the comments. And actually, the one of these are wrong. I want to change this to, excuse me for doing that. Subscribing is what it should be. The second one should be, this is what the last one is going to be, subscribe. Sorry about that. There we go. So those are the areas that we want. Now, here is the dilemma. The dilemma is, as a believer, we have a different mandate. And I know like this is going to be a different video. I'm usually doing live streaming tips. I'm usually showing people how to get involved in improving your content. But today I want to take a different approach because I'm usually into the physical aspect. Today I want to get back to the heart of the matter. And so the heart of the matter is that I want people to see my content, right? Let's just talk about a natural conversation. I want people to see my content. I would like them to be connected to the content somehow or another, enough to engage it, enough to put some effort into going onto their phone and typing it and actually sharing with somebody else that they like my content, and then they actually follow what I do. That's why you market, and that's why you do what you do in a natural sense. Because if we're going to be honest with each other, I don't think a person would just do this over and over and over again and not want to see some results. We want to see some results. That's if we're honest with ourselves, results are what we like to see and why we do what we do. Now, here is for us as believers, here's the other part of it that we have to be very, very cognizant of, is that we have a mandate and a mission before what we do at all times. We have 100% mandate on what we do. Every single time we fire up our camera, we have a mandate before us. We have a mission before us, right? And we know that is to honor the name of Christ. And we know that whatever we talk about, that when somebody leaves our channel or leaves our content, that they get the feeling or that they get the idea that they have been edified by something that God would approve of. That's it. That's so when you market your channel, right? And this is not just a life lesson, or this is just not trying to tell you how to market your channel. This is actually something I believe that we all have to work on, is that when you market your channel, you got to ask yourself two questions. Am I pushing the idea that there is content that I'm going to provide that's going to be God honoring, or am I pushing a personality out to the audience? Now, you can make phenomenal thumbnails, right? You can do awesome commercials. You can pick the right screen's appearance. You see today I changed my set just a little bit. I made everything purple, right? But that's just the color I wanted to do. So I could, put, a whole bunch of camera equipment over here that I have on the side, right? Or I can, dress up the room to make it really look like I know what I'm doing. Or, right, I can give you what I believe is content that you can use, that you can benefit. And then when you walk away from whatever live or whatever thing that I'm producing, you feel like you've gotten something out of it. And hopefully that God has gotten the glory out of what I'm doing, right? So when we're talking about marketing your channel, you're not just marketing, right, a product or a service. You're actually also marketing, right, the idea that the content you're going to produce is going to point people to what you believe in this case, it's Jesus. If I do a live about cameras, right? Let's say I do a live about specific live stream cameras. I'm going to point you to cameras I believe that will work. And no matter what cameras I talk about, and I use something general to make a point, when I get done with that broadcast, I would hope that you've had enough information to make a decision about buying the right camera at the right price with the right intention in mind. I'm not just going to point you to the fanciest, biggest camera. I'm not going to point you to the fanciest equipment, because that may not suit your budget, suit your need, or suit your purpose, right? So in that particular instance, whatever I'm presenting before you, I want to make sure that the information I'm giving you is clearly communicated and you got the point. Now, whether you like, comment, and subscribe or share, that's up to you, and that's up to how I present the information. Now, let's take it to a more Christian perspective. Let's say that you do have a channel that is geared towards Christian content. Well, I want to make sure, in the same manner that I would not want to give you a trashy camera, or I would not want to give you something you couldn't afford or something that you could not work, I would want to make sure that in my Christian content presentation, that when I got done, that you felt that you've actually watched Christian content. That it was just not a bunch of gossip. It wasn't just a bunch of slander. It wasn't just a bunch of foolishness. It wasn't a bunch of entertainment. I would want to make sure that when I present my information to you, right, that I am presenting Christ in all of my content, whether it be discussion about trending issues, current topics. I would want to make sure that that's going to be the forefront of my mind as a Christian content creator. And so I can dress this up, use the best lights, use the nicest microphone, use all of the aesthetics. But if you walk away from my content not have felt that you've experienced Christian content, then I believe that I have failed in my presentation. So when you're taking on marketing, I believe you have to have the same mindset. The mindset is, when I put out my marketing materials, right? When I put out my marketing piece, like, do people see me as a personality, or do they see an individual who happens to be a believer that's going to talk about a subject that when I'm finished looking at a subject, that I am able to see, like, past the entertainment? And I'm not saying don't use nice thumbnails. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't promote your channel. It's definitely not what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't look professional. I'm not saying don't wear your own clothes. Like most of the clothes that I wear are stuff I design. I don't necessarily want to call attention to it, but almost everything that I try to promote is usually part of my business. Even the platform I'm on, like, I'm on YouTube, but I'm actually going live to another server where other people can watch uninterrupted. Because that's what I choose to do. I'm saying, as believers and as content creators, that when you market your channel, are you marketing you or are you marketing Christ? Here's what I'm asking you. And I'm asking you this question for a reason, because it's very easy to get caught up in chasing the likes, the shares, the comments, the subscriptions. You can get caught up in that easily. And you can get so caught up into it. Grace and peace to you, K-Dub and Pixelated Twist. Thank you for coming by. We can get so caught up in it that we actually forget what our actual purpose and our actual goal is. Why? Because we take I'm going to say a natural, I'm not just going to say secular, because I don't think that there's anything wrong with taking some of the practices that are given to you on some of these other platforms that give you great marketing advice. But I want to make sure, right, that as you market yourself, right, that you're never the sole focus of what you're marketing. Why? Because I believe that when you do that, you take a little bit of attention away from what you do. Here's what I'm saying, why I'm saying when I do that. I do graphic design. I market with a lot of ministries, pastors, all kinds of people that are into whatever. And a lot of times, the pictures that they give me are the leaders of the church are the biggest picture, the biggest photos on the flyer, and the graphics that sometimes I design sometimes take away from the actual focus. And I've designed a ton of flyers, and that doesn't mean you have to do the same thing. I've designed flyers for events that didn't have any scripture, it didn't have any like biblical basis, and they just wanted the nicest looking flyer. And I used to get that a lot. People would say, I want the hottest flyer. Well, why do you want the hottest flyer? Well, because I want my marketing to be stellar, right? And I want my marketing to be so good, right, that people will just want to tune in. Well, here's the problem with that. If your marketing is better than your content, what are you marketing? Are you not misrepresenting what you do? I remember my first job that I had as a graphic designer. A guy was a barber, and he said, hey, can you make me a card? And I said, absolutely. I said, what do you want me to do? He just said, make something fresh. So I really didn't know Photoshop at the time. I took a picture of a fade, right? And I learned how to take text and bend it into the person's head, make it look like hair and make it look like this barber had cut his name, right, into this person's head, and his name was Cash Money. So it said Cash Money. It was a nice fade, and I put his phone number at the bottom, and I was so proud. I had spent like 3 or 4 hours on it, a couple days time, figuring out how to make this fly card, right? And so after I got done with the card, I took it to the barber. Now, this is not a believer. I just took it to the barber. And I said, hey, I'm finished. And I was really proud of the card. And I looked at it, and I was really happy. I printed it out, and I gave it to him. And he just stood there and looked at me. And I was kind of taken back because I was like, yo, I worked on this a long time. And so why is he not like going Google and Gaga over it? And he was like, I can't use this card. And I said, why not? He said, because I can't cut like this. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I can't cut names into head and make it all look clean like you made it look. I can't do that. So I can't use this as my business card because I can't cut like that. I can fade. I'm really good at fading, but I can't bend names and do crazy designs like you did. Like that would be dishonest. And I never forgot that because I realized in that moment that the marketing was going to misrepresent the skill set. And so in this little short live, right, I'm asking you when you market your channel, right? This may seem like this is not important information or maybe it's not helping you, but I think in the day and age where YouTube has, I think something like 3 billion users on a daily basis, almost 3 billion or something like that, that you have to differentiate your content from everybody else in the sense of there's really only 2 groups on YouTube. There's, the authentic Christian group movement, and then there's everybody else, right? There's the authentic Christian. What I mean by authentic is that people clearly know you're a believer, right? Whatever side of the fence you fall on, whatever degree of believer you are, and then there's everyone else, right? So if your stuff simply mimics what everybody else's stuff looks like, and we don't know what your content is about, then are you really marketing your channel as just a channel, or are you marketing yourself as a content Christian creator? Am I saying you have to throw crosses on all your stuff? That's not what I'm saying. Am I saying that you have to put all types of scriptures on your post? That's not what I'm saying. So I hope you don't hear me saying, well, that's what he's saying. No, I'm saying that because even in my screenshot today, this is a pretty simple flyer. It just says, how do I market my channel as a believer? Now, I didn't, this is just me. I'm not telling you how you need to design it, but I didn't put up something where there was a guy and a priest on there. And, I'm all for using professional looking thumbnails, and I'm all for using stuff that is colorful, and I'm all for using stuff that is great looking. So I hope that you hear in this little short, presentation, I'm not telling you not to market professionally, not at all, because I'm a graphic designer and that would be crazy. What I am telling you is that as you market, right, and you market your channel, right, you are able to not put so much attention on your marketing that it doesn't match the content, right? And that your thumbnails looks kind of wild and kind of flashy, and then your presentation when you come online, like you just look like just somebody that don't know the Lord. And what I mean by that is that your mannerisms are kind of tough, and your words and your speech are really, really harsh, and all this different kinds of stuff. And so all I'm saying is that the way you market your channel is the way that you would market Jesus. And 9 times out of 10, he doesn't need to be marketed, because Jesus's content is so strong that even if he's never marketed, he will get the job done. And so I think in marketing your channel, I believe you have to do the same thing. You have to make your content so strong, right, that you don't have to market, that you can just put up a thumbnail and people are blessed by what you do. People are moved by what you do. Now, I don't have 1,000 followers and all that kind of stuff. I mean, on this channel, I have 1,300 followers. I got all last year, right? I don't have a ton of flashy content. I don't have a big, great layout for my studio. I have the same layout that I do every single time. I have more expensive cameras. I do. I have cameras that are 3 times more than this. I just want you to see me, hear me, and be able to get the content I believe that will help you do your live stream. Marketing should match the content. Thank you, Jason. I was getting ready to say that. Marketing should match the content, right? But the content should be the key focus of what you do, right? So let me give you a few pointers now on how you can market your content, right? If you are a Bible teacher, right? and you do longer Bible studies, right? Maybe a way you can market that content is chop up some of those videos and make some shorts, and put some meaty content out there, right? And put some content out there that'll draw people into your longer lives, right? Let's say you do, because shorts are an absolute wonderful way to market your channel. Shorts are the way to go. Like if you want to market your channel, put out shorts. I was watching a video today that said that for every YouTube subscriber that got to 1 million followers, they had to put out 3,900 videos. Now, 3,900 videos, let's say you put out 2 videos a week, let's say 3 videos a week. That's 160, maybe 150 videos a year. You do the math on how long it would take you to put out 4,000 videos to get to 1 million subscribers. Let's cut that in half. Let's say you have to put out 18, like almost 2,000 videos to get to 500,000 subscribers, right? So the point is that system doesn't work for everyone, right? And what you should be worried about, and me, myself too, is that we should be worried about that our content honors God, so that when people see our marketing, right? When people see our names and people see our channel names, that we're able to that people are able to know that the content is going to be good. And you have to make up your mind now, what are you going to chase? Are you going to chase the likes, the shares, the comments, and the subscription? Or are you going to put out solid content and let the Lord grow your channel? That's the thing. If you trust the Lord offline, you got to trust him online. If you trust him on your job, you got to trust him at home. If you trust him with everything that you're doing, right, outside of YouTube and outside of the digital sphere and Facebook Live and all that, are you going to trust him with this same content as well? Once again, I'm not discouraging you from doing marketing. I'm saying change the way you market. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying make sure that as you promote your channel, that at all times people can tune in and see that Christ is the focus, no matter what you talk about. And you can do fun videos. You can do videos where you hang out with people. You can do videos where you critique different shows. You can do all different types of stuff. That's fine. I'm not even telling you what to do. What I'm saying is that when they get off your channel, they should have known that they were around a believer. And when they see your marketing, they should know, oh, this is something different about this channel. Once again, I'm not telling you that you can't use fancy thumbnails. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the heart behind it has to be examined when you market your channel. So as you market your channel as a Christian content creator, remember that your adjective Christian is always going to be in the forefront. It just is. So no matter what camera you get, no matter what audio you use, no matter, you can use a $164 light, or you can use a $10 clamp. A $10 clamp light with a light bulb in it. The question that's going to be asked is, once the camera goes off and the content is done, did I honor the Lord in my content? Do people look at my marketing, right? And do they feel like I'm going to get a solid presentation where I know that Christ was honored in the discussion? Even if you have a debate or a disagreement, did I respectfully disagree with a person? Did I take the time out to not have something said or something done to where my motives or my channel or something was questioned? Like, it's interesting. These 4 words are on the screen, right? You like, you share, you comment, you subscribe. That's what we look for on YouTube. Well, ask your question, ask yourself, look at these words in a different light. Is your comment like something Jesus would approve of? Did you at some point share the gospel? Are your comments edifying? And when you're done, did people subscribe to you, or did they subscribe to what you believe in? Rearrange your thought process about YouTube. Just take those 4 words in your marketing approach. Oh, I want to get likes. Is your stuff like Jesus would? Does your channel like what Jesus would like? Let's rearrange it. Am I sharing the gospel message? Am I sharing biblical content? Are the comments edifying? Are the people who are commenting being edified? And when they subscribe, do they subscribe, right, to what I believe in, or do they just subscribe to me? There was a popular YouTuber today that was doing a live, and I was on the phone with somebody, and I saw the notification, or I saw the screenshot because I'm not subscribed to the channel, and they have 180,000 subscribers or something like that, but they did a live and they only had like 400 or 500 people watching. So I in my mind I'm like, wow, they have almost 200,000 subscribers, a soft 200,000, but they only have 500 people watching their content right now. What's the disconnect between that? How are you not getting those numbers to agree? My assessment could be is that people subscribe to the personality, but they're not really connected to the content. I'd rather you have 5,000 strong subscribers that all support what you do than to have 50,000 subscribers who are just subscribed to you because of a name or some tactic, or you went viral. And then now as you market, they kind of look at you as a gimmick. And that's kind of where we're at as content creators, especially Christian content creators. Chasing these areas on the screen, the like, shares, comments, subscribes, is fine, just so long as they line up with the mission of Christ. Now, I know that this video might get some people to unsubscribe from the channel. I know that this video may get some thumbs down. I know that this video may not even be what people wanted to hear. But from the reality of it is that I teach live streaming, and 9 times out of 10, it's in a Christian context. So I cannot dumb down my comment or dumb down my context or dumb down anything that I'm doing for the sake of likes, shares, comments, and subscriptions. Because then I would be a hypocrite in what I'm asking you to do. And I would also be dishonest, because then my motives would be examined. I would be doing it for the wrong reasons. Nothing wrong with being on YouTube, doing ministry, nothing wrong with teaching on YouTube, nothing wrong with any of that. But my main concern is that as you market your channel and as you represent the name of Christ, that everything flows equally and matches. Don't market yourself as a 20,000 subscriber person if you only have like 400 followers. And just hear me out. Being honest in your marketing, right, only allows the people to connect with you where you're at. And as you grow, they grow. And as you begin to see more, as your numbers grow, your people will grow with you. And they will engage with you, and they will interact with you. And so what I'm saying is that when you go to get your next show together, and you go to make, your marketing ploy, and you go to put your marketing plan together, and you go to put your shorts together, and you go to do your community post, and you go to share whatever you're going to share, is what you're sharing honoring Christ. So as you market it, when people come, you don't want people to get to your channel and be shocked, or be to the place to where they don't know what you believe in or what you're doing. That should not ever be the goal, or should ever be the focus of your content. Because Jesus doesn't need help with you making him famous or known. You need him for you to be made known. So in order for anybody to know you, it's only by the graces of God does he allow your content to grow. And if you do something dishonest to grow, you got to do something dishonest to continue to stay trending upwards. And so I would admonish all of you Christian content creators, and even for those who may not ascribe to what I believe in, just be honest in your marketing. How do I market my channel as a believer? Honestly, realistically, and transparent. Make your thumbnails, but make them clear cut. Make them to where I don't have to guess at who you are or what you're doing. Make your content as you develop it, record it, that make it always known that Christ is in the forefront of your mind. And I believe that if you market your channel that way, with Christ being the focus point and the center point, he will grow your channel as he needs to grow your channel. And so you don't have to chase the likes, subscriptions, the comments and the shares. They'll come naturally. They'll come as they need to come, and they will produce what God wants them to produce. That's all I really had for you today. It was going to be a short live. I didn't want to talk about tech or anything like that. If you do have any comments, I know there's only a couple people watching right now. If you have any comments, you can throw them in the comment section, or you can ask me any questions. You know, my Instagram is here on the screen, as well as that's my real phone number. So if you want to text me, you can. And as always, you can go to OBS Academy online, obsacademy.online, where we offer one-on-one sessions as well as training sessions on how to do your live streaming and how to do your content. And that's pretty much all I have for now. I'm going to stick around for about maybe a minute because I know there's a delay. And I just want to shout out everybody that came on the live, Regmont Music, Dear Woke Christian, Bottom Line Dad, Pixelated Twix. I thank you guys for coming on. K-Dub, I thank you guys for all tuning in. So if there's nothing else, I'm going to wait about 10 more seconds. Oh, there's a little bit of a delay. There's a 4-second delay according to my OBS. So if you have any questions, or if you have a channel now and you want me to take a look at it and give you some other marketing tips that you can do as far as marketing, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Shoot me a text message or something like that. I believe that a lot of the things that you can do to promote your channel are pretty much the same. Be consistent, post on a regular schedule, and utilize shorts. Like, that's the thing that's going to grow your channel, is utilize shorts and take some of your older content and maybe chop it up and represent it in another light. Maybe do some commentaries on your own videos. Maybe go back and look at some of your older videos and maybe rehash some subjects that never had got resolved. So that might be a quick way for you to market your channel and get people an opportunity to meet you, know what you are, and know why you do what you do. So I think that's all I have for today. I thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a blessed day. God bless, and you guys enjoy the rest of your afternoon. See you later.